I tell you today, America is on life support. The signs are clear. Moral decay, political corruption, and greed have rotted its very core. This nation that once claimed to be the light of the world is now choking on its own lies. And when an empire falls, it does not fall softly. It collapses under its own weight, crushing those who are unprepared. Black people, if we do not stand together, if we do not prepare, we will be buried beneath the rubble of a dying America.
America is dying. You can see it in the streets, hear it in the news, and feel it in the air. The economy is unstable, politics are poisonous, and the very foundation of the country is cracking under the weight of its own corruption. Every day brings another sign that the system is failing. And when it falls, the ones who suffer first and hardest are us. Minister Louis Farrakhan has been warning about this moment for decades. For Black people, this is not a time to wait and see. This is a time to prepare. History has shown again and again that when America is in crisis, our communities are left to fend for themselves. If we do not build the systems that will protect and sustain us now, we will be left exposed when the collapse comes. Stay with us, because in this video, we're breaking down exactly why America is collapsing and how Black people can survive it. Subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and share this with everyone who needs to hear it.
America is not the shining city it claimed to be. It is a house that looks strong from a distance, but inside, the beams are rotting, the floor is sinking, and the walls are ready to fall. The economy is drowning in debt so deep it cannot be repaid. Trillions upon trillions, with interest payments so high they threaten to swallow the budget whole. And while the rich grow richer, the working man is left with scraps. You see the cost of food, the rent you pay, the bills that come every month, they rise, but the wages do not. The politics of this country are no better. Leaders fight each other like enemies on a battlefield, while the people they claim to serve are left unprotected. The states turn against the federal government, the people turn against one another, and trust in the institutions is gone. An election does not bring unity, it brings division, anger, and the fear of violence. And what of the morals of this nation? They have been traded for greed. Truth has been replaced with propaganda. Community has been destroyed by selfishness. They sell you entertainment to keep you distracted, while corruption eats away at the foundation. I have told you before, a nation built on lies and exploitation will one day choke on the poison it has fed the world. And that day is here. This America is not rising, it is falling. And when an empire falls, it does not fall gently. It collapses with weight and fury, crushing those who are not prepared to survive without it. Black people, we must understand this truth. When America's systems fail, we will be the first to feel the impact. And if we do not prepare, we will be the first to be lost in the rubble. When trouble comes to this country, the system does not run to save us. It never has. Look at the history. In every great crisis, we have been the last to receive help, if we received it at all. During the Great Depression, when white families lined up for government relief, Black families were often denied or given the scraps left over. During Hurricane Katrina, our people were stranded on rooftops for days, not because rescue was impossible, but because their lives were not a priority. During the 2008 financial collapse, trillions were given to save the banks, but foreclosures swept through Black neighborhoods like a plague. During COVID-19, we died at higher rates, worked the most dangerous jobs, and still saw resources reach us slower than others. This system does not fail to protect us by accident. It is not built to protect us. Its design ensures that in times of prosperity, we get the least, and in times of crisis, we bear the greatest suffering. We are used as labor when needed, as scapegoats when convenient, and as an afterthought when decisions are made. Some of you believe that if you vote enough, if you integrate enough, if you prove yourself enough, you will finally be treated equally when disaster comes. But I am telling you today, no matter how much you give, you will not receive what you are owed from a system that was never built for your survival. That is why our survival cannot depend on their institutions. When America falters, and it is faltering right now, the government will protect its own interests, its corporations, its wealth, its power. You and I will be left to protect ourselves, or we will not be protected at all. The lesson of history is clear. When America falls into a crisis, we cannot wait for help to arrive. We must be the help. We must be the protection. We must be the system that looks after our own, because if we are not, no one else will. If America is dying, then the question before us is not whether we can save her, but whether we can save ourselves. And to save ourselves, we must have a plan, a blueprint for survival. Without it, we will be swept away by the same storm that will sink this nation. The first pillar of that blueprint is unity. Without unity, we are scattered pieces, easily broken. We must put aside petty arguments, end the divisions planted in us, and recognize that we have one destiny. Our enemies know they cannot defeat us when we are united, so they work every day to keep us divided. We must deny them that victory. The second pillar is economic control. A community that cannot feed itself, employ itself, or house itself is not free. We must support black-owned businesses, keep our money circulating among our own, and buy land so that no one can decide our future by taking the ground beneath our feet. The third pillar is self-sufficiency. We must learn skills that will keep us alive when the lights go out, when the shelves are empty, when the jobs disappear. Farming, trades, security, first aid, these are not luxuries, they are necessities for survival. The fourth pillar is protection. We cannot rely on outsiders to police our communities in our hour of need. We must train, organize, and watch over our own neighborhoods so that no predator from within or without can harm our people without consequence. The fifth pillar is control of our narrative. If we do not tell our own story, others will tell it for us, and they will twist it to justify our oppression. We must build and support media that shows us with dignity, strength, and truth. This blueprint is not complicated, but it requires discipline. It requires each of us to commit, not just in words, but in action. Because when the walls of America come crashing down, only those who have prepared their own house will still be standing.
In these opening sections, Minister Farrakhan speaks with no attempt to soften his message. He describes America as a nation in decline, politically fractured, morally adrift, and burdened by debt that can never be repaid. He warns that this is not speculation, but an ongoing collapse, and when the system finally breaks, Black communities will bear the worst of the impact. He supports this warning with history. During the Great Depression, Black families were often excluded from federal relief. In Hurricane Katrina, many were stranded for days with no rescue. In the 2008 financial crisis, foreclosures devastated Black neighborhoods, while bailouts went to banks. In the COVID-19 pandemic, the death toll in our communities climbed faster than elsewhere, while resources arrived late. These patterns are not accidents. They are the result of a structure built to protect its own power, not our survival. From there, his focus turns to the need for preparation. He calls for unity as a shield against division. He urges economic control so that wealth generated in our communities stays in them. He emphasizes self-sufficiency through practical skills that keep families fed and safe. He stresses protection through community-based security. He demands ownership of our narrative so that outsiders cannot distort it to justify harm. Each element of this plan requires discipline and commitment. Farrakhan's point is clear. There will be no rescue from the system as it declines. Survival will depend on what we build for ourselves before the crisis reaches its peak.
The time for watching has passed. The signs are here, and they are multiplying. The economy is strained under debt that cannot be repaid. Leaders are locked in battles for power, while the people struggle to keep food on the table. Prices climb while wages remain stagnant. These are not isolated problems. They are evidence of a nation moving toward collapse. Waiting for the perfect plan is the excuse that will leave you exposed when the storm arrives. Every day spent in hesitation is a day wasted. Action must begin now. Even the smallest steps matter. Support the businesses that belong to our people. Learn the skills that will keep you alive when shelves are bare. Form alliances with those who are serious about survival. These are not symbolic acts, they are the foundation of protection. Distractions will pull at you. The noise of this nation's politics will promise hope if you choose the right side. That hope will fade when the crisis comes. History shows we are not placed at the front of the line when help is handed out. We are often left at the end, and sometimes we are left out entirely. If you want safety, build it yourself. If you want resources, secure them before they are needed. If you want stability, create it through discipline and preparation. Every person can contribute something. Some have knowledge to pass on. Some have strength to defend. Some can grow food or store supplies. Others can organize information and keep the network connected. The only role that does not exist is doing nothing. A prepared community can outlast a crisis because it moves with intention and refuses to depend on those who have shown they cannot be trusted with our survival. America is moving into dangerous territory. You cannot control the fall of this nation, but you can control how ready you are when it happens. Those who act now will endure. Those who remain unprepared will suffer. The choice is before you, and it must be made today. America is in decline, and the pace of its fall is increasing. The signs are not hidden. You can see them in the economy that strains under debt it cannot repay. You can see them in politics that no longer serve the people. You can see them in the erosion of moral standards that once held the society together. These are not distant warnings. They are happening now, and they are accelerating. When this nation's systems fail, they will not fail politely. They will not send you notice before the lights go out, before the banks close, before the shelves empty. Collapse does not give a schedule. It arrives while you are asleep, while you are at work, while you are distracted by the daily noise. If you are unprepared when that moment comes, you will have no time to prepare. Preparation must be treated as a requirement for survival. It cannot be postponed. You must have networks of people you trust. You must know how to secure food, water, and safety without waiting for institutions that have already shown they will protect themselves before they protect you. You must build systems that meet your needs now, while there is still time to do it in an orderly way. I am telling you with clarity, the government of this country will act in its own interest. It will protect its wealth. It will protect its power. It will ensure its survival before it considers yours. That is not an opinion. That is history repeated across every crisis this nation has faced. If you want your family to endure, you cannot leave their survival in the hands of those who have never made it a priority. The responsibility is yours. It belongs to every man, every woman, every young person capable of contributing. There is no role for those who sit still. Every skill, every resource, every action counts toward building the security that will be needed when the collapse reaches full force. Some of you will hear this and dismiss it as fear, but fear is not what drives this message. Truth drives it. The truth is that survival will not be handed to you. It must be claimed through readiness, through organization, and through work that starts now. The choice is before you. You can prepare and stand when the storm comes, or you can ignore this and be swept away by it. That choice will be made today, not tomorrow. The future will not wait for your decision.
This was Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking on America is Dying, and Black people must survive it. What you've heard is not a lecture for curiosity's sake. It is a survival manual disguised as a speech. Every point he made was built on decades of observing the direction of this country, watching the patterns repeat, and understanding how those patterns have always left our communities exposed. He began by naming the reality that many try to deny. America is in decline. This isn't speculation. It's visible in the instability of the economy, in the widening cracks of its politics, and in the moral decay that has taken hold. He made it clear that these aren't distant warnings. They're current conditions, and when the final collapse happens, it will be sudden and unforgiving. From there, he pointed to history as the proof that we cannot depend on the system to save us when that day comes. In every major crisis, from the Great Depression to Hurricane Katrina, from the 2008 financial collapse to the COVID-19 pandemic, our communities were not only neglected, but in many cases actively disadvantaged. We were the last to be helped, if help came at all. These moments were not exceptions. They were reminders that survival for Black people in America has always depended more on what we do for ourselves than what the system does for us. Then came the blueprint. Farrakhan laid out a plan for survival grounded in unity, economic control, self-sufficiency, protection, and control of our narrative. Each is a separate pillar, but together they form a shield against what's coming. None of these are abstract ideas. They are concrete actions that can start today and must start today. The urgency in his voice grew as he moved into the call to mobilize. He stripped away the comfort of waiting for a perfect plan. The message was direct. Even small steps taken now matter. Support your own businesses. Build skills that keep you alive when the grid fails. Form alliances with people who are committed to preparation. Do not waste energy hoping for rescue from those who have never made your survival their priority. Finally, he left no doubt in his closing words. Preparation is not optional. It is the line between surviving and being swept away when the collapse reaches its peak. The institutions of this country will look after themselves. They will protect their wealth and their power. Our survival will rest on our readiness, not on their mercy. This is the point where you decide whether the words you've just heard remain words or become a turning point. Share this message with those you care about. Speak it to your families, your communities, your organizations. Let it be more than a warning. Let it be the start of action. Because when America falls, those who have prepared will endure. Those who have not will be left behind. If this message from Minister Louis Farrakhan opened your eyes, make sure you hit that like button so more people see it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss content that speaks truth to power. Share this video with your family, your friends, and your community. Because survival starts with awareness, and awareness spreads when we pass it on.
How we doing, family? I pray all is good. I pray all is well. I pray everyone is good. Let's give praise where praise and honor is due. That's to the Father, Yahweh, King, omnipresent, omni-knowledge, Ancient of Days, our Savior, His Son, Yahushua, our King, the one is who came to die for His people, our Messiah. Also, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, which Yah give to His believers. How we doing today, family? How we doing? I pray we did good amongst each other. I pray we show love to one another. I woke up with a message for the ones who start to faint and feel like it's getting too hard for them, and that they don't see any results in their prayers. And it seems like nothing is happening good for them, and it seems like all doors are closing. Faint not. Faint not. Faint not, family. For your redemption is near. Your redemption is near. I have a few verses. I'm not going to hold you long today, because I'm on the road. I'm not where, in my comfort zone, where I can kind of, be more relaxed and, have my stuff on my my film, but I had to give this message because somebody needed this today, because I needed it a couple of months ago. So I'm giving it today because I was starting to faint. And so I'm not coming here acting like I don't know how it feels to go through things and just weary, just tired, just tired, tired of being tired. But we have a Father that loves us and He keeps His word. Are we going to keep ours? Let's go. Let's go to Revelations chapter 3, verse 8. Let's go. Let's make sure that's correct. Yeah, let's go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. He knows your works. He knows your deeds. He knows your heart. He would not fail us, family. I guarantee you that. One thing about our Father, He would not fail us. He would not fail us. Behold, I will make them of thy synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet. Do you know that people are going to come and worship your feet? You don't faint. This little fainting has no competition against your reward. Your reward is great. You are great. You have to let yourself know that. You're not just anyone. You're a child of the Most High. Let's continue, family. And to know that I have loved thee, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Did you hear that? The patience. We have to have patience. It's easy said than done. These are why we have to fast and have to stay in prayer and have to stay hearing the word, because the word gives us that strength. The word is life. And we have to keep bringing that life into us so we can fill our spirit up and not this flesh. Let's do that again. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, and shall come upon that which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. You would not be going through that. You might be going through some situations now, bills behind, the family you're going through, marital problems and all that kind of stuff. That's nothing compared to your reward. That is nothing compared to your reward. Let's continue, family. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's do that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. I should be getting close to faster with this. I'm trying. So we have 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yah hath prepared for them that love him. We don't even have an inkling of an idea what Yah has planned for the ones that love him. That brings me so much joy. I have to read it again. It's so much joy. It brings me so much confidence. Because faith is the hope of things to come, things that are not seen. And it is impossible to please our Father without faith. Let's do that again. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yah hath prepared for them that love him. Wow. The master, the ruler, the creator of the universe have something planned for me? long as I stay fast, I stay into the word, I continue to do the law, statutes, and commandments, he has something for me. Man, I can't wait. Let's go to Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 15. Let's go to Matthew chapter 15. Okay? We're going to go to 15, verse 11. We're going to go to 11 through 20. Okay? Pay attention, family. 11 to 20. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth that defileth a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted. If you are not of Yah, you will be rooted up. But if you are, you need to stand fast. You need to stay strong, because our Father got us, and he will be separating the wheat from the tare. Please don't be that tare, because you will be thrown into the lake of fire. Let's continue. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Don't let anybody come and tell you anything and discourage your faith. Stay into the word. Stay into this fight. Faint not. Faint not. Faint not. Because a false prophet is going to come to you with smooth words. You can't get smooth words and stay strong. You need roughness. Just like diamonds, it takes pressure to make a diamond. You're that diamond. It's going to take pressure. Let's continue. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And Yahushua say, Are ye also yet without understanding? Yahushua used to get like irritated, like, come, bruh, seriously? This is self-explanatory. You've been walking with me, and I'm still explaining things to you after I'm talking to you. But listen. Do not yet understand, do ye not yet understand that whatsoever enter into the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the drought, into the toilet? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. You have to watch what you're saying, because it's bringing things to your life. The mouth, the tongue has the power of life and death. You could bring life to you, or you could bring death to you. And if you're bringing death to you, you're going to faint. You're going to faint because you need to bring life to you. When you read in the word, read it out loud so your spirit can hear. Do these things and it will strengthen you up, family. Start fasting. Start fasting. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornication, theft, false witness, blasphemy. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defileth not a man. The things that you're worried about, and that's in other words, the things that you're worried about, it has no reason to even be on your plate. You worry about nothing. Do you know who you serve? Do you know who you serve, family? The Almighty Father. It's no way, like I say, we all go through these times and these trials, and you know, we start to faint, and we start seeing the things on TV and on the internet, and see that we are being messed with and all those kind of things. But you have to remember who you are and why you're being messed with and why you're going through the things that you're going through. You're going through these things because there's a reward at the end. We all have to make it to the end. You have to make it to the end, family. What I'm looking for right now, we're going to go to, let me hold on one second. Let me 1 second. I just got this in my new Bible. I'm happy. Let's see where we at. 7. Let's go to 1 Samuel. Let's go to 1 Samuel. And we're going to chapter 16, verse 7. Okay. That's what I wrote down. 16, verse 7. Okay. But Yah said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his structure, because I have refused him. For Yah seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yah looketh on the heart. Yah know where your heart is at. He know what you're going through. He know you're about to faint. But you have to hold on, family. You have to hold on. And it's not the easiest thing to do. Like I said, it's not. But you got to remember, the mind, the heart has not entered into us what he has planned for us. And that just makes me want to hold on even more, because if he's for us, who could be against us? No one can touch us, okay? We're not going to be touched like that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. Okay, I told you I'm not going to have you long. This is a chapter you need to always remember. Because a lot of people think once saved, always saved. It's not true. It's not true. That's why it's called backsliding sometimes. People backslide. People fall. They slip. They go through things. But it's the strong. It's the love that you have for the Father will give you endurance. Pay attention. Chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end. Until the end. Until the end. The same shall be saved. Family, I pray that I gave you some encouragement, because it is hard. It is very hard to live this life. But there's a reward at the end. Will you be there to receive your reward? I pray all is well. I pray all is good. I love you. Till next time we meet. Shalom.